for a better future for myself of like, oh, I could have that amazing dream life with all the time freedom and all the financial freedom that they tell you you can have. And that got ripped away from me. Hello, you guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Caitlin. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you my experience being a part of a company called Advocare. And I was with this company from the day I turned 18 in 2014 until they had to restructure their compensation plan, and they went from a multi-level company to a single level company in 2019. And I want to just share with you my experience and my opinions as to why MLMs are not a good opportunity, because there's so much misinformation out there, and a lot of reps will tell you of multiple multi-level marketing companies where it's like, oh yeah, this is a good opportunity, you get time freedom, financial freedom, blah blah blah, but they don't tell you the facts, which the FTC states that 99% people either make no money or they lose money, because the reps themselves spend so much money to hit their goals and also to consume their products, to be a product of the product, and they end up spending so much more money than they ever make. And in my opinion, it's not a good opportunity, but I want to share my experience. And Advocare was the first MLM I was a part of. I'm going to talk about that. And then I'll also talk about what happened once they restructured their compensation plan. Because I left, I briefly joined another MLM. And in future videos, I'm going to talk about my next experience with the next MLM, because did I learn? No. But your girl knows now, and I want to help educate people and just let people know that if you've experienced anything similar, that you're not alone. And if you're considering joining an MLM, consider all of the facts and other people's opinion other than what just one rep will tell you. It's so great when it might not be. My story starts with my mom. So my mom, she was an in-home caregiver from when I was like 5 years old until I was about 16. And at 16, the lady she was taking care of passed away. And I have 6 siblings. So also when I was 16, my mom had my youngest sister. And so my mom started working for the city of the town that we lived in. And she also had her 2 youngest children in daycare. And at her new job, she met a couple of people and she got invited to an Advocare mixer. So basically it's an at-home party, someone hosted, Drink Some Spark. That was Advocare's main product. And so anyways, an opportunity pitch, and my mom bought into it. She's like, cool, that sounds great. So Advocare is a health and wellness company, and you can still buy their products today. But at the time they were multi-level, so you would sell some Spark and also recruit other people to sell Spark and the other products that they had. And when you recruited someone, so everyone was a distributor, that's what we start out as. And then you want to get to level advisor, which means you spend over $2,000, which locks you into a 40% discount, meaning whenever anyone buys anything retail from you, you get 40%. And then we were all told, like you're told to get as many advisors under you as possible. I'll show the income disclosure statement, but like you wanted 3 advisors under you, and you wanted each advisors to get advisors under them, and it would make a pyramid shape. And so anyways, my mom bought into this opportunity and she became a distributor and eventually an advisor. And I was 16 at the time, so I'm just watching this. You have to be 18 to join any MLM in the United States. And so anyways, she eventually stopped working for the city of her hometown because she was making minimum wage and paying half of that to childcare, and she decided it wasn't worth it. So she stopped working, and my stepdad's job supported us, and my mom's like, cool, I'm all in, I want to make an income. And she bought into the idea of like, oh yeah, you can make a livable wage and replace your old income that you were making when you worked as an in-home caregiver. So my mom, she worked the business, did her thing, and so for 2 years she did that. And then I turned 18, and literally I spent my birthday evening at an upline's house signing up for Advocare. I'm like, I want to do that too. I bought and sold into the idea of like, oh, well, I won't have to work a real job if I can just do this. I did have real jobs to support me, but I was like, I want to do that. This will give me financial freedom and time freedom, and I can just live my life and everything will be hunky-dory. Cool. And so I tried selling Spark, and I didn't have much luck. And then I moved an hour away from my parents' house, and my boyfriend really wasn't into Spark at the time, and I didn't have any friends, which is problematic when you're a network marketing company, like who are you gonna sell to? And so like I didn't really have any success, and I was spending a lot of money because I liked Spark. I'm like, I'm gonna drink it every day and be a product of the product and all the things that they tell you to do, because when I spend money in the company, my uplines all benefit from that. And so I just spent a lot of money, and that was, 2014, 2015, and then in 2016, my family moved to Alabama, and I went with them. And while in Alabama, I was there for 6 months, and my mom and I were like, we're serious about this business. I tried selling Spark to all my coworkers at Pizza Hut, and like they make $7.25 an hour, including me, and no one can afford it, right? And we found people in Alabama that were hosting events like at-home mixers and stuff. So we'd tried to get people to go, even though like it didn't benefit them. But we're like, hey, we want to grow our businesses. Let's kind of collaborate with you to grow Advocare, right? And we went to like every event possible, even like in Birmingham, 2 hours away, and other miscellaneous places. Like we were all in. And then during this time, so this was 2016, I still hadn't recruited anyone to be a distributor underneath me or an advisor. Like no one wanted to join me. And my mom did have a couple of advisors, obviously including me and like a couple of her friends from her hometown or whatever. But like I wasn't seeing that success. I was putting so much money into it because sure, I liked the products, but like I wasn't getting anything in return. And there's probably a lot cheaper alternatives to Spark, but I wasn't willing to look at it because I was loyal of like, oh, this company is going to give me my dream life. So August of 2016, I moved back to Washington State. We're from that area. And I started living with my boyfriend, a different boyfriend than at the beginning. So him and I have been together for over 8 years now. And I really was sold into the idea still of like, oh, I'm going to make Advocare work. I'm going to make this into a thriving business. And during this time, I hadn't been utilizing social media, didn't know even how to promote products on the internet using social media. And so really it was just word of mouth. In 2016, 2017, I had multiple jobs, no days off. It wrecked my mental health, and I was still like in love with Spark, talked about it here and there, but I wasn't getting the results of building a business. And so in 2018, I got the job that I currently have now, and it's a really good government job. And I still was like, I don't want a real job. I want to do Advocare. And so I sold some Spark to a couple of coworkers. It's the recruitment that gets you that money. Like the top earners, they only make so much because they're recruiting people. You make $5 selling retail products. That's not where the money is. It's from recruiting people. And so anyways, I never made that high income because I didn't recruit people, and it's not from lack of trying. I just really sucked at it and no one wanted to join me. But I was still so loyal to this company because it's like, well, I have this vision. And even looking at the income disclosure statement of like 2015, it tells you that like most people don't make a livable wage. But I feel like I was like brainwashed into believing, oh, well, that could be me. And I just had this hope. And they sell you this hope. They sell you this dream. And so after having a few coworkers buy some Spark off me, fast forward to 2019. And all of my hopes and dreams were entirely crushed because Advocare sent out, I got an email May something of 2019 saying, hey, we are restructuring our compensation plan. So we're going from a multi-level marketing to a single level marketing company. And so if you've built a team, you're essentially losing all of your team's income, and you can still make money if you sell products, and that's it. And it didn't actually change my income because I wasn't making much income. I only was selling to customers, but it destroyed that hope of like, oh, this could be this thing. It gave me hope for a better future for myself of like, oh, I could have that amazing dream life with all the time freedom and all the financial freedom that they tell you can have. And that got ripped away from me. And I was absolutely devastated. So I'm going to show some screenshots of an article that I screenshotted today because I couldn't find the original email that they sent me. So I'm going to share the screenshot. They got in really big trouble from the FTC because the top leaders were telling people just recruit advisors. And that's where all the money came from recruiting people and essentially lying about how much money you can make. You can only make that money if you recruit advisors under you who recruit advisors who recruit advisors, and your downline's a million miles long. So I bought into this lie. It was a big fat lie. It's interesting that they sell you this idea of like, oh yeah, it's your own business, like you own it. But then it can just be taken away from you when they decide, oh, well, we got in trouble, so we're taking away all of your income. If you're one of those people that are making lots of income from your downline. There's just so much misinformation, and the reps will tell you in every MLM company, like, oh yeah, it's your own business, when in reality it's not, because you're not in charge of anything. You're not in charge of what the products are. I mean, you decide, okay, cool, I'm partnering with this company, and I'm going to sell their products, but they can take stuff away, add new stuff, and then they can also get shut down at any time, and you don't have control over that because it's not your business. So, Advocare got rid of their multi-levels and went to single levels, and I decided, screw that, I don't want to stay with them because I liked the idea of building a team and making all the money in the world that they tell you can make, right? And so I had two main top leaders. After Advocare got in trouble, one of them went to ID Life and the other one went to Zervita. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna follow this one to ID Life. And I didn't join ID Life, I just tried some of their products, spent a lot of money, and decided it was overpriced and that I didn't want to join this upline. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me look at this other upline. Like, these people were very successful, and I'm like, I want to do what they're doing because I want to be successful. And so I went over to Zervita and I became a distributor here. And I essentially bought a $400 plus starter kit. And I think my mom signed up under me maybe. And then I had like 2 customers. And once I went through my starter kit, because I was consuming the products, I didn't make any money, and I just kind of stopped doing it. I stopped talking about it, and I was like, this is dumb, whatever. And I still had my good paying job. That's how I could pay all my bills and live my life, right? But I still wanted more out of life, where it's like, oh, but I feel like MLMs demonize having real jobs. It's like, oh yeah, you work a 9 to 5, and when you could work from your phone from anywhere and make all this money. But like, MLMs don't pay you unless you have a downline. I feel like I still was susceptible to joining other MLMs in the future, which I did do, and I'm going to talk about that in the next video. But this whole experience was just disappointing, because something that top leaders or any upline will not tell you to do is a profit and loss statement where you add up how much money did I spend and how much money did I make. Especially those companies that are like, oh hey, weekly paychecks. But when you get a paycheck for $12, when you spent $107, the math ain't mathin'. You're not profiting. And that's why most people either make no money or lose money. And so this was all pre-COVID, from the moment I turned 18, 2014, until basically end of 2019 is where this whole story takes place. And 2020 is when MLMs just boomed because everyone was looking for at-home ways to make money. And I have a story. But for now, it makes me sad that these companies prey on people, because like my mom, who was spending just as much money on daycare practically as she was at work, like, oh, well, I can just make money at home and sell Spark and it'll be great. And then me, I'm like, oh, my mom's doing it. That's what I want to do. And I don't fault my mom at all. Like, she didn't know MLMs were problematic. She thought that they were a good thing. So I thought they were a good thing. And after discovering anti-MLM content in 2022, it's just like, it's really not a good thing, in my opinion. They're very problematic. There's so much misinformation, and so many people are harmed because of these companies. They lose money, they lose friendships, it's a lot, and it sucks. So I'm going to start speaking out more about MLM companies, and that's what I'm going to be using this channel for, because it's important. And I think the more people speak up about it, the more people bring awareness to these companies, that our voices will be heard and something will be done. I mean, Advocare got in trouble for operating as an illegal pyramid scheme. And it's just because they were lying about how much money you could make, and they were like, oh, just recruit people. That's problematic. It's other companies that are less blatant about it, where it's like, oh yeah, you want people to join your team, but like you also have to sell products. And people will tell you, oh, it's not a pyramid scheme because we have products. But like, it doesn't matter if you have products. You can still operate in a scummy, negative way where you're selling a pipe dream that doesn't really exist. So with that, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know if you have any negative experiences with an MLM. And just because my experience with Advocare wasn't a great experience doesn't mean that joining another company is going to be better. In fact, it really isn't. And even though Advocare is no longer an MLM, it doesn't matter. It's still relevant that this was a thing because other MLM companies are still things. And I don't recommend joining one. So anyways, thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next video. Okay, bye.